Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, you guys will have a collective message post tomorrow evening, so definitely check that out. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's a special event over Zoom between myself and Steph over at House of Scrying. If you're interested in attending that or you want more information, that link is also in the description box. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I don't have my crystal ball today. We'll be doing something called a Venus glass, and it's egg white in water. The water also is from a spring. It's a naturally occurring spring. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with the Salem witch trials, this is what Titubo is accused of. It's an old European kitchen magic tradition. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing as I'm dropping that in, it's almost taking this form on the bottom for me. From my angle, it looks like a crow's head. So that a crow's head usually for me means that there's a spirit, a guiding or protective spirit, typically a messenger. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing a sun, so that's kind of my confirmation. If it turned into a moon after I said that, that would be a no for me. And okay, I'm seeing a mouth. Specifically, I'm seeing a tongue. And the tongue is about language. So there's something about... there's something about language, the language that the spirit is speaking. Oh, wow, okay. So I'm not going to keep rattling off the symbols because there's a lot happening here. Okay. The tongue is now about a method of communication. Whoever this message is for, you have a spirit with you, you know that you have a spirit with you, or at the very least you highly suspect it. And I'm seeing that someone is experiencing shapes or movement out of the corner of their eyes, like especially having walking sensations like in their room. Okay, I'm seeing like footsteps everywhere. And I'm being given a feeling of like coming home and feeling like someone's there, either all the time or it's not really all the time. It feels like it's happened a couple times in the past. Okay. The shapes that are occurring out of the corner of the eye, they're either taking white shapes or dark shapes, either one. I'm speaking to a collective, so it's going to be different for all of you, as is the message that's trying to come through from them. And, you know, don't listen to the nonsense that people are like, oh, dark is bad and light is good. Oftentimes it's flipped. So don't take it that way. There's something here about the way that you're listening. Is not necessarily the way that they speak. You're listening for a language that they can't use. So maybe, for example, this is you're literally trying to hear with your ears instead of with your mind, or maybe it's with coincidences, which most people call synchronicities. Most people call things synchronicities when they're not. Not meaning they're not legitimate, meaning that's not the definition of a synchronicity. Synchronicity actually has a very precise definition. Whatever the case is, you're being asked to stop forcing a preconceived idea on how this person, entity, being is going to communicate. Okay? Like you're being asked to, in your mind, stay open and pay attention. It feels like, it feels big. It's happening in a bigger way than you're expecting. Ways that seem like they go unnoticed, because maybe you're really caught up in, like, I'm seeing like a little brain. Maybe you're caught up like in your head, or caught up in like your expectations. Okay. Not enough in your body. Or for some of you, not enough in your surroundings. Okay, so there's a need to be very present then for whoever this message is for. If you understand that there's a spirit around you, you've been trying to receive communication, you have to be more present. Okay, this message is trying to convey. Okay, yeah, the message is different for everyone. Okay, it feels like an entire, like I don't want to say rainbow. It's like dominoes. I'm feeling dominoes. Like each domino is going to a different person. And all the dominoes being put together make something. So it's almost like this is occurring on like this, yeah, I'm seeing like chess pieces down here and like these little pins. It's like it's occurring on a collective level, and there's a specific reason why. It has something to do with frequency, like the frequency of a collective. I got something like that last week also. Okay. The reason why the message is so different, the reason why it's almost like I feel like whoever this is for, like you feel urged to like listen. It's about really crafting that ability for yourself, being able to hear for yourself. This is part of knowing yourself and exercising your own spiritual authority for your future. It's important not to psych yourself out, get neurotic. I'm seeing like these spiraling motions taking place right now, or frantic about it. It's really like be that high priestess card where you're patient, you're quiet, you're still, and you're just observing. Okay. I want to ask for symbols for people who need this message the most, please. Okay. If you're new to my channel, the symbols don't mean that the reading is or isn't yours. It means that if they resonate, pay extra attention. Okay. Okay. Immediately I see a lily. 'Tis the season. Headphones. I feel like they're extra fancy headphones. I'm seeing a wheel. I'm feeling like it goes on the back of something that's being taken off. So like someone's taking training wheels off of a bike. I'm seeing bells around a doorknob. Okay. I'm seeing something about a shell also. There's something important about a shell that has taken place recently. And then if somebody's baking like a 3-layered cake, that came in through the scents, the smell, and then 3 layers. Garnet sphere has a significance. And then I'm seeing down here, it's like, again, the spiraling motion. There may be something about the galaxy that's really important right now. But this is striking me almost like a child's pinwheel. And then, again, another smell. What is this? And then I'm being drawn to my dog, so someone might be baking dog biscuits. Lots of baking. Lots of baking. Okay, is that it? Something about mushrooms also. That last one looked a little bit like a mushroom. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull some cards for this and see if we can get extra information. I will be keeping an eye. I'll put this here for those of you who can see it. If you're able to watch it as well, you can get your own symbols. Oh, I'm seeing a dragon for sure, and then a heart. Okay. I don't know why I don't feel like I should interpret that. It's like that's for somebody. Okay. Tell me about the spirit. So there, don't be afraid of this at first. So I'll explain this to you. We get the devil card. What this tells me is that this may have been something that has been with you for quite some time. It seems like it's been patiently waiting here. It may even be something that is, it may be something that has followed you for quite some time. That's just how it feels. It has followed for quite some time, trying to get some sort of message across. I'll be honest, this seems like it has something to do. We have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is like just before you reach ultimate happiness. So for me, 9 of Cups often represents when someone has completely unfolded their abilities, and then the cups being psychic abilities, emotional abilities, healing abilities, and then that 10 of Cups is where they've arrived. So they've already opened them, and now they're doing exactly what it is that they're meant to be doing with that emotional energy. So this is what this seems to be doing, is there's some sort of spirit that's with you that is trying to help you open up your abilities, but the first step is being able to hear them. Some of you, this may be, for example, a guide. You may resonate with it being a guide. I feel that for a majority of you, this is not actually a guide. This is something that has come in or has been with you for a very long time and is actually trying to help you open up in some way. I am being very drawn to the fact that the very bottom is the Hangman. You guys know I always read the bottom card unless I'm feeling guided not to, and this one's no different. The interesting thing is that this one's kind of standing out a little bit more than these are for me. And the Hangman, when we have that card, it's almost where the consciousness descends, and as it descends, it's on the lowest portion of that card, the sun, right? And as that consciousness has that internal illumination, that's when it's reborn in a more powerful energy. And that's what's kind of happening here. So for whoever's message this is, you may have gone through or be going through some very difficult emotions at this time. And that's because that conscious energy, that solar energy, has to descend. It has to purify and rectify something within the self so that it can be reborn. And part of that rectification is learning the language that Spirit is communicating with you. Okay. Oh, I just got the star. I feel like I'm supposed to take that because it stayed on the desk. The star card is about liberation. When I talk about the star card, I'm always talking about it's like this fresh slate. And there's before the star and then there's after the star. And that's kind of what is happening here. I'm seeing that when this occurs, when you're able to actually tap in, tune in, and understand, there's going to be your life before and then your life after. There's something energetically here that causes a reset because of this opening it's like a sensory expansiveness. And I want to say this because I feel like for some people this doesn't always occur based on how psychism is taught in our society, in our modern age. Try to release the expectation that it's going to happen through your I'm sorry, I'm going to laugh because I can't think of the word. Through, your hearing, through your touch, through taste, through smell, all those things that we kind of teach, like the clairs, right? There we go, the clairs. A lot of psychic information that's not very loud, but is sometimes the most fruitful information, happens quite subtly. I know a lot of people, they're looking for those loud experiences because they have those loud experiences. Well, we all have those loud experiences. The question is, do people know to pay attention to them, right? Some people don't know what to pay attention to, but it's the subtle experiences that will make you good at this. So there's something here about that someone is learning to navigate beyond maybe what they've been told or what they've traditionally heard is how this is going to manifest for them. 1111 as I look up. Oh, I wasn't going to say it, and they're like, no, you got to say it. Okay, and I'm supposed to take all these, and then the bottom is the Page of Wands. This is learning. This is starting off on learning how energy works. The Wands is energy, it's willpower. So this is what's happening here. Now, I was going to say, for somebody out there, and it's because of the Star card, I felt like I was supposed to say, somebody here, you're focused very heavily on the third eye because you hear that's the psychic center. If you have been focused on your third eye and you're not really getting anywhere with that, shift to your solar plexus. There's a lot of information to be gotten out of the lower stomach and really all the energy centers, but there's something very specific about the lower stomach and working through those energies in order to receive the information that you might be looking for. So let's see, that's healing here, and this was just my confirmation of that because the three swords are making me think of that solar plexus here, and one's directly aimed at the stomach of this crow. Okay, we have the Three of Swords, okay? And then, so what this is telling me is, and I'm going to take these two together, Three of Swords to the Ace of Cups. One of the guidances and the reason why we're being guided to the solar plexus area is because for some of you, there's a lot of personal power that has been lost. And you may be working on that at this time. You may be a little bit more focused on heart healing, but part of heart healing is personal power retrieval, right? Getting out of the victim narrative, getting out of sometimes cultural trauma, and allowing yourself to see yourself as strong and not focusing on things that necessarily aren't a priority. And that's not to say dismissing issues. It's to say prioritizing what a problem actually is. So, when we focus too much on things that are not necessarily issues, and we prioritize those things, we get really caught up in the drama, we get really caught up in the war, and it's a way that we consistently lose power to whatever it is that placed that idea within us, whether it's from ourselves or it's from something outside of ourselves. Media is a great example of that. But there's something here in this complex of the heart and the solar plexus about emotional energy and retrieving your emotional energy from something. It's ill-placed is kind of how that's coming across. Okay, we have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, we have got two fours up here, so the 4-4 energy may be important for you. With the Four of Wands here, this is about our stability, our structure, our own safety. The Four of Wands is when the explorer goes to a new land and he sets up camp. This is base camp. So even if there's all these unknowns, there's still this place that he can retreat to, resupply, rest. And this energy is basically saying that someone has to learn how to be comfortable with themselves. They have to be comfortable with their own body, comfortable with their own presence. And this is going to be one thing that helps you. Remember, when I was looking at this, I straight up see a pentagram in the bottom of that. Some of you may be getting into witchcraft, for example, or practicing methods of protection. The pentagram is also about balance. So someone may be trying to establish more balance within their life. Okay, I'm seeing mountains now at the bottom of that, and so some of you may live in the mountains, or you may be planning a trip to mountains. But if mountains are significant to you in that sort of way, there's something important about connecting to the energy of the mountains. That's where that dragon comes in. Okay. What is that? oh, it's like I'm seeing a person's face that has sunglasses because they're sunbathing. Definitely like something about travel and vacation and stuff. I almost feel that this collective, there's a need to reconnect with nature in some way. Maybe it's just the beach. Maybe it's, walking around like a concrete jungle block, just getting some sunlight on your skin. Maybe it's attuning to the sun. Right? If you need some tips on attuning to the sun, waking up an hour before the sun rises gets you in tune with nautical light, which is before sunlight, before sunrise. It's what the birds wake up to. And if you can stay awake until the sun goes down, and if you do that for a year, that's some of the native traditions. This is what they would do to attune back to the sun and reset their bodies. And this is something that also you can find in places in Europe. So this is something that people knew. Our ancestors knew this. So allowing yourself to attune to the sun might be important for some of you. Remember, the sun is about consciousness. And so there's something here about consciousness and using that energy, even when we have that solar plexus energy, about getting in tune with this spirit world in order to be able to communicate. I do feel for many of you that information is actually coming through your body, and you may not be in tune because you're not able to understand the energy movement of your own body in order to be able to understand when the information's coming through. So for example, I see that a lot when people first wake up and they get these feelings and these vibes, but they're not even aware of those feelings, or they're used to just stuffing them away, when it's actually communication from a deeper part of self that sometimes can act as an interface for spirit communication. Others of you, it may be the voices that you hear as you're drifting off to sleep, for example. There's some other way that this is trying to communicate that we're not necessarily getting because we don't really know what we're looking for. And I think a lot of times when we have that question mark and we're looking for something and we don't know what we're looking for, we think other people can answer that for us. But nobody can actually tell you how your system works. This is something you have to learn on your own. And this is part of whoever this message is for. This is part of your path. This is for your future. It's developing that tool for your future. Okay, and here's there's a block. Okay, so Two of Swords were blocked, but notice how this bird isn't actually blocked. He can fly anywhere he wants to. He just thinks that he's blocked because he has that blindfold on. He hasn't learned to see, in other words. And so this message is coming through because you have a spirit around you that has been with you for some time. They're trying to get you to learn to see. And so really be present. Try to be a little bit more focused on your surroundings, on your body. Listen for subtle things. It could be as simple as, for example, having a dream, and you dream a particular symbol and then it starts showing up in your reality, but you don't necessarily notice it because you're used to looking at angel numbers, or you're used to listening to the songs. It could even be things like feeling a certain way that you don't even realize why you're feeling it. And if you were to just sit with it and unpack the feeling, you'd find that there's all kinds of information in there. It's going to happen very different ways for all of you again. And finding out your unique signature of how this information is entering your system is going to be very important for you, not only with this spirit, but it feels like with others. Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. Whoever's message this is, I hope this resonates. If this does resonate with you, feel free to like it. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.